For the Emperor.
Welcome to the Emperor's Box. I'm Magnus, and here with me is Daniel. And this is our first episode. We will talk Warhammer 40,000, some lore, tabletop rules, and the hobby. Think of it as your Vox channel into the grim, dark future.
Tell all the listeners or viewers what are we up to?
Yes, okay. Well, there have happened so much since the Rogue Trader era. All these new units, and everybody was called Intercessors, Incursors, Infiltrate, and I had no idea. And if anybody would have told me, I would have avoided so much mistakes. So I thought, well, let's help others to avoid the mistakes I made, because they were very expensive mistakes.
All right.
So I thought, well, I need a real professional. But then I thought about you, Daniel. You could help me sort this thing out, you know?
All right. So what you're wanting to create here is like a purchasing guide telling hobbyists what they need to buy and what they shouldn't buy, right?
Yeah, precisely. I mean,
all right.
Like we both play Imperial Guard. We will not talk that much about Imperial Guard today because we'll talk about Space Marines. Yeah, we're not competitive player. We have played actually some fun tournaments where beer has been involved, and it's been really fun. But so don't believe that we're competitive players, but we know a little thing about Warhammer anyway.
Yeah,
I hope.
And an important note to make here is also that the meta changes.
Yes.
Always. I mean, it's with Warhammer 40K today, it's like a second job just to try and keep up with all the FAQs and the new field manuals and the new points and new codexes coming on. I mean, if you really want to boil it down to proper like advice, I would say just buy the stuff that you think looks cool, because all right, it might not be the best unit today, but maybe someday in the future you're going to use this unit and see that, hell, this was kind of nice today.
Yeah.
After a few FAQs and so on, you know? Maybe a few editions later if you're unlucky.
Yeah.
But still, that's like the core of the hobby, is just buy the things that you think are cool, right?
Yeah.
And then make the best of it. Yeah. It's always sad to see something like you paid a lot of money for something and then you don't want to use it on the tabletop because it's got shit rules, right? Yes, that's boring, but still you bought it because you thought it was cool. It fit into your army. I mean, that's what we talk a lot about, your dudes. This is your dudes, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, don't listen too much to what we say about the viability on the tabletop. I mean, if you like something, if you think it looks cool, go for it. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. The only thing I must say is, if you want to play Space Marines and you're into the hobby now, I don't think that you should buy brand new firstborn Marines, because you will pay a premium price for something that you can find really cheap.
Today, you said that we are focusing on Space Marines right now, right?
Yes, we are. And I thought, why not start with the first unit that everybody probably knows about Space Marines nowadays, and they are the Primaris Intercessors. They're quite new. I think, was it in 8th edition that the Primaris, or was it 7? I'm not sure about this because I
think it was 8. Primaris Marines were a big part of the launch of 8th edition. Starter boxes were filled with Primaris.
It took like 2 years before I actually put them to the table first time, and it was against you, and I noticed, wow, these guys can actually do stuff. So, but what can they do? Should we talk about that?
Absolutely. I mean, this is so strange to hear from you because, as you said before, you played Astra Militarum, and you know the strength of the basic infantry squad as it was back then. Now it's, you know, Cadian shock troops and the Catachans and the Krieg, but back then it was infantry squads, and you knew what infantry squads could do. And I mean, intercessors, that would be the equivalent from the Space Marines Codex, right?
Yeah.
It just feels so weird that you overlooked them for so long and didn't give them a chance.
Well, they cost like 50% more than the Guards infantry, and there were only 5 guys, and I thought, why should I have them on the table?
You didn't want to pay twice the points for half the amount of
Yeah,
minutes
because
on the table, right?
yeah,
Yeah, and they do fill some of the same roles as the infantry
should we
squads.
look them up a little? Do a stat check.
Yeah, we can look at the stats, but what I think is most interesting is that they are OC2,
Yeah.
and you don't really have a lot of options for infantry marines that are OC2. And on top of that, they have sticky objectives, right?
Yes, and they also have a very special cool rule, because when you shoot, if everybody in that squad is shooting at the same unit, they got +2 attacks. Each marine has 4 attacks. And I
Yeah,
think that was an update
that's
was
what.
actually that they made recently. And if you're shooting an oath target, because they like oath of moment, then you reroll everything. And if you're a non-divergent chapter, you got +1 to wound as well. So I mean,
Wow.
you wound on 5+ against most big targets as well, and you have a reroll to hit. So I think they are
Yeah.
really good, and especially against, I mean, horde. They can shoot.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that when we played the last time you ran your Ultramarine army, how a group of like 5 intercessors could pick up 15 Imperial Guardsmen.
Yeah,
And I was, what the hell just happened?
yeah. I was just as surprised as you. So yeah, they are
That's
really
crazy.
good
Yeah.
at certain types of jobs. And if you look at it, for that cost and for the punch, they are a catch. You should absolutely think about having them in your
Yeah, but
army.
they're good at standing in circles, right? With
Yeah,
OC2, standing on the objectives,
standing on
keeping
the
them safe. And they are good because you can leave the objective and still it will still be controlled by you.
yeah,
And if you find some type of like vulnerable chaff unit from the enemy, they will probably tear it to shreds, right? And they're not entirely bad in melee either, right? They have like 3 attacks each. Like I think all
yeah.
Primaris guys.
There are 3 attacks. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it's
And
like
are you
4.
able to equip the sergeant with? I mean, they all carry bolt rifles, right? A power fist on the sergeant.
Yeah, you can have a power fist on the
Yeah,
side.
so they have like a kind of punch in melee as well.
Yes, they can have, definitely they have a punch in melee as well.
Yeah.
And
And with, as you said before, with Oath of Moment and stuff, I mean,
hmm,
you could definitely do some damage in melee if you don't pick up all the targets in your shooting phase, right?
yeah,
Or you could shoot one target off an objective and charge another one and get stuck in. And I mean, they have like what is it, toughness 4 and 2 wounds, right?
toughness 4, 2 wounds, and a 3+ save as well.
Yeah, a 3-up save. I mean, it's not bad. I mean,
No, it's not. And in
against a
this
lot of
edition,
enemies, that's a perfect stat line.
you almost always, when you shoot at the target, they are in cover. So that means the 3+ will be there, and against a -1 as well. I mean,
Effectively, it's a
yeah,
2-up.
effectively, yeah. So they're really good at that.
Yeah, so they're a good utility unit or mostly objective holding unit. They are deadlier than what you would expect, right? Especially with Oath of Moment, where, I mean, even if you shoot at something that is toughness 8 or above, which you would normally need a 6-up to wound, would be a 5-up. I mean, with the Oath of Moment, you have effectively doubled your chances of wounding something,
Yeah, and
which
that's
is
crazy.
great.
That's crazy. I mean, look. I mean, I always compare it to the Guards infantry.
Yeah, me too. That's like that's why I don't run anything other than guard infantry because nothing compares to it.
Yeah. So I mean, in practice, what you're saying, they're not just a filler in intercessors. They can hold ground. I mean, even do some chips on big targets as well. So,
Yeah, I
I
mean,
mean,
if you don't have anything better to shoot at, you have at least a decent chance to put a dent in something that is way, way, way above their weight, right? They can punch up pretty good,
you can
which
have
is 2 units, right? If you want to.
2 units with a sergeant in each unit if you want to. Yeah, so
Mhm.
that's great. Whatever you want, and I actually think they look really good. I like the looks of the intercessors. They look like, this is the Marines for me. So I think they look good. They have a decent job to do on the tabletop, and they're quite easy to paint as well. Because that was my first unit I bought when I got back to the hobby. For both this box First Strike, you got like 3 Primaris Intercessors in the box, and I tried paint them, and they were easy to paint as a first unit or a first model to paint.
Yeah, I mean, when you compare it to like when I put one of these models next to my Evostroyans, they're huge, right? So of course they're easier to paint because
and a lot of flat
and they have like
surfaces.
large panels and
Yes.
like large armor parts and not that much. I mean, of course they're detailed, but it's not that many small bits that you need to pick out. I mean, it's a perfect like starter kit.
Absolutely.
And you get a lot of options as well, right? In the
Yeah,
box. I haven't had to play. I actually thought about it today when you asked me if I could join you for this recording session, if I should go out and buy a kit of intercessors, because I don't know if I've told you, but I'm looking at branching out into Space Marines as well. I have never had a Space Marine army before, but I am warming up to the idea, so to speak. And I think a box of intercessors would probably be the first kit that I would buy.
I think you're on your right way. You're doing quite the opposite as what I done. And that is always the right thing to do it.
Exactly. I've learned from your mistake. I mean, we said before that they were great for beginners, right? Big panels, big, huge, like shoulder plates and stuff. But they can also be very satisfying for veteran hobbyists to work with as well. I mean, the potential is huge for creating your own style or your own chapter or whatever. And they're easy to, you can just put stuff on there like pouches and grenades and everything, right?
Yeah, precisely. And you all the battle damage and stuff you can do, which I mean, and they will look great on a model like that.
And since the models are kind of huge for me because I'm used to Imperial Guard, I mean, the things that you put on there will be visible.
Yes.
At like an arm's length distance, right?
Yeah, precisely.
I mean, if you put some bullet holes in a shoulder pad, you're going to see them on the tabletop, right? It's not just going to blend in there and disappear with the rest of the stuff. You're going to see what you have created in a nice way, right?
I'm with you on that. And so let's wrap this up.
Yep. All right.
What do we say about the intercessors? Do we have, if we should grade them 1 to 10, what's your value? What do you think about them now starting into a possible Space Marine army?
I mean, if you want me to rate them, I would say definitely a strong 7.
A strong 7.
They're like a dependable unit. They're useful. I mean, keeping sticky objectives in your toolbox is always valuable, especially in the later rounds in the game. Try and step off one circle, get into another circle, and keeping them both under your control.
With
right?
circles, you mean objective, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, objectives. I call them circles sometimes. I think that's kind of common. Stand on circle. Right?
Maybe it is because I have not been into the hobby that much, so I have met so many people, professionals like you have.
Yeah, but I mean, they're not the most exciting units. It's not like you have a ton of choices when you're decking them out, when you're putting them into your army. It's not like you have a lot of choices for what you want them to do, right? But they are dependable, useful. Sticky objectives can be a game changer, especially in the later rounds. Maybe not as exciting as some of the other ones. I mean, as I said, when I've been looking at getting into Space Marines, I like the Assault Intercessors with the jump packs, right? They are more exciting for me.
Yeah, I'm in total agreement with you, Daniel. I think you're right on the spot with that. However, if I would grade them, I would probably say I would grade them an 8. And I mean, they might not shine on their own, but with the oath buffs, they become seriously dangerous. I say an 8 on them because I think they look really cool. And it's been like an eye-opener for me having them on the table. if you would have asked me like 3 months ago, I would say maybe a 5 because, well, they're the classic Space Marines. But now I say it's an 8. That's how I see it. So let's close this up. First of all, this is our first episode of the Emperor's Vox. I need to use my bass voice for that because it sounds much better. The Emperor's Vox.
You need more whiskey and more cigars, man. What are we doing next time?
I don't know.
Gonna chat about another unit?
Should we talk about the Emperor next time?
No, let's not do that.
No.
Is there a unit on the tabletop?
Nothing. No. What
we
should I
could
say
talk about the baby Emperor Guilliman, right?
Yeah, let's talk about the baby. I play Ultramarine for a reason.
Usurper Guilliman. He wants to be the Emperor instead of the Emperor, right?
He should be. He should be the Emperor instead of the Emperor. We have a dead corpse on a throne, and we're let's worship him. People worship him. He doesn't need to be worshipped. If anybody should be worshipped, it's Guilliman. No, I didn't say that.
Now you're on like a dangerous.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I'm a dangerous now. Well,
yeah.
If you want to know how this
ends, calling you this week.
James Workshop will calling me.
Yeah.
You can't say that stuff.
James Workshop of the Holy Inquisition. He will call you.
Yeah. We will take your channel down.
Right. Yeah.
Don't ever say that again. Because, spoiler alert, he will be the Emperor soon.
Exactly. Don't spoil stuff.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. But I want to say thank you, Magnus, for inviting me to this first episode of the Emperor's Vox. Right.
Thank you so much, Daniel, for being here with me. And it has been a joy talking to you. And I hope your listeners have liked this as well. And I just want to say, until next time, for the Emperor, take care.
For the